Like I really like pride myself on what I do. I really like to like have a good idea and show off the good idea. That's just my favorite thing to do. I'm just like not that interested in like the more content creator TM style challenges like that. Maybe that'll change one day. Maybe I will be more interested in that kind of stuff in the future, but just doesn't feel super inspired to me, I guess, or that interesting either. Careful consideration, modern creativity. I've seen it. Turn 3 creativity is kind of interesting. Pretty weak card in general is kind of the problem, of course. Ooh, we're against Living End, maybe? Do you have the Leylines for Living End and some stuff? We have 4 Leyline, 4 Chalice, if this is Living End. Although maybe it's like a cookbook deck. Could be. It's probably the Goryo's deck, actually. The Goryo's deck has been so popular lately. Oh, but it is instead, again, a different deck. Crabvine. Hollow Crabvine, wow. Modern's so funny, you just like... There's so many different strategies sometimes, you just have no idea. This is kind of nice that we can go turn 1 Vial, turn 2 Mogg War Marshal block, Vial and Hierarch, and then we have Tyvar in play. Our Fiend Artisan is also like going to be a turn 2 4/4 if we wanted to. We can play Fiend Artisan instead. Kind of depends. 4/4 doesn't block the Vengevine all that well. Oh, they don't have another creature. They just have to pump their Rootwalla. Steez, thank you for 22 months. Hope you're doing well. Welcome back. Steez what? Steez what? Steez what? Borg, Lur, Goif, baby, let's go! Power and tough... Dude, somebody earlier asked about a Fiend Artisan for both graveyards. Nobody said anything. Oh, this is just your graveyard. I thought it was both graveyards. I totally forgot about Urborg, Lur, Goif, though. Urborg, Lur... Oh, they have an Ox in their yard? When you decide to put a filter land in your mana base, you know, modern deck building is kind of like painting to some extent. You know, this deck has a lot of really conflicting 2-drops. You have Munitions Expert, Fiend Artisan, and Conspicuous Snoop. And you don't want to take, too much damage because you're like, kind of fragile to red burn spells in the first place. And so Graven Cairns casts all of these cards and also lets you go like basic Swamp into like fetch Vial into like cast Snoop on turn 2 if you have a black fetch land. Just like fixes your mana really well. So like and it's also like just the first copy has very little cost. It doesn't cost you almost anything to play just the first copy of this kind of card, if that makes sense. When additional copies have diminishing returns. Okay, so we're gonna set up for a win next turn if we don't mill over our second Kiki. Because we'll get to go Fiend Artisan for Snoop, activated immediately because we have Tyvar, then Vial and Harbinger. And my opponent doesn't usually play much removal, and we've got a lot of blockers. Though Kiki, this is the second Kiki. This one was already milled. We have 2 Kikis in the deck. So I guess we should also upkeep. No, because we're gonna shuffle with the Artisan. Never mind. So we can still draw it next turn. So I imagine they're going to start with their Ox of Agonis. It's interesting to give your Snoop haste with a Planeswalker over Haste Lord. Yeah, I do. Interesting, maybe. I will say Tyvar is much, much better than any 3-mana Haste Lord. It's like, in a lot of ways, this kind of card compensates for a lot of the weaknesses that you have in this kind of strategy, where you're soft to Fury and you're soft to like the creature removal in the format. Like this is like a powerful 2-for-1 that like needs to be answered when the 3-mana Haste Lords are 3-mana 2/2s in Modern. Yeah. But I agree, interesting. It is, like a game design perspective. Dude, they're no. I'm getting weaker. I'm shrinking. I've played Pyre Goblins in the past. I think that like Fiend Artisan seems just like, especially with this Tyvar build, seems so much better. But not a creature. Ever tried Legends of Runeterra or Hearthstone? I used to play Hearthstone super casually. And I don't think I've ever played Legends of Runeterra. You know, like, I just play... I say this a lot, but I just play so much Magic that it's difficult for me to be particularly interested in another, like, a card game. I tend to like to play, like, D&D or video games instead of other card games in my free time. Yeah, what's cool about Fiend Artisan is, like, it's not always going to be a 6/6 this fast, or usually, because my opponent had Burning Inquiry, but it's just like a giant creature too. And like having... Oh no! Okay, so we're not a lock to win next turn. It's also just, you know, just a giant creature, which gives you a really interesting... I'm going to still take this up to 3. Plan B. So I do want to put a Snoop into play. Probably should have got Forest instead. Obviously, could have, like... I actually don't want to attack with the Fiend Artisan, because then they get to Ox again, actually. Yeah, we don't have enough mana to win this turn with the Tyvar, unfortunately, too. It's like 7 mana to do that. I mean, this is how cards like Fiend Artisan work a lot too. Like in the past, like without Tyvar, this card, these two cards just play so well together. But it is also possible I just have underrated this one in general. Why not play a fetch to rep or shuffle? I really don't want to fetch. If I fetch, I could accidentally put a Kiki on top of my library and just lose, right? Or not be able to combo. I'm really happy to see any card on top that's like not Kiki, or yeah, it's not Kiki. Although I guess if it was Kiki, I could still make infinite tokens. I could still make infinite tokens and then combo anyways, I guess. But that's at least what I was thinking. But maybe my logic was flawed, huh? Don't need to make that many Snoops. I have 4 life. I guess I can untap a Snoop if I need to. Oh, I guess that also doesn't work though. We're fine. Fanatic of a Sling Game, mana curve considerations, both entirely really. Also, you know, we're playing less goblins, so slinging is worse. But it's also like you're like much weaker to Ragavan without any number of this card too, especially on the draw. Time to trim a Vial. Time to trim the Priest against a deck that likes to sack creatures. Grist seems kind of slow, but not too bad. Trim second Fanatic, maybe. No, I think with Burning Green, need to keep all the combo pieces. Can trim a Tyvar on the draw. Let's trim a Tyvar on the draw too. Use the restroom real quick. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I'm the little coffee fairy, refilling coffee while it is away. Good day to use.
Okay, on the draw. We don't have a Leyline, but we have a very keepable hand. What did Esther do? Oh boy. Well, hand's worse. Hand's so much worse. Holy shit. She's the Coffee Fairy. Well, shout out to the Coffee Fairy Esther. Yeah, I know that whenever she is here, you always tell her to mulligan or concede. It'd be so funny if she actually did it one time. I'm like on board. Root wall or root wall. Okay, not too scary. Although my hand again is much worse than it was. That's a really nice pickup. My opponent showed me Fury. Do I subscribe to the Doomwake school of thought that you can never play around Fury? No, but I think that I'm gonna not here. I was gonna play Artisan Hierarch and get blown out if they have another one. Although Mogg War Marshal, I don't know, but this block both root walls pretty well. Could be just have been the better line anyways. Is it worth maxing out Teferi to live the dream of sacrificing a pinch solitude to evolution? So, if you do that, if you max out on Teferi, you have to basically be like less in on Elishnorn, I think. No, you have to be less in on Elishnorn is my thinking, since although this deck's Fiend Artisan is going to be insanely big. Where because like you need mostly 3 mana creatures for your 3-drops, because you're playing Evolution, and so any other 3-drop needs to be a creature, so you can evoke the 3-drop into Elishnorn, was my thinking, which is why I'm only playing 1 Teferi. But you could play like you could play a version that's, you know, higher mana curve. And just like more in on like you could play like Fury, Solitude, Teferi, Evolution, Atraxa. I guess the problem is your mana's too tough and there's no way you can have the right pitchable cards, especially because Atraxa doesn't pitch to especially because Atraxa does not pitch to Fury. Yikes. Remember how good my opening hand was? If I draw a land, though, I can just like put a Snoop into play. Hard for them to kill me, and then I can Harbinger the following turn. Yeah, I've got a blocker. They can deal me 6. It's gonna be hard for them to deal me too much more damage. Technically possible. Could take a different line. I mean, I can even just like jump with a Snoop. Worst case scenario, potentially. Just get more Fiend Artisans. How did they beat that? Well, I mean, how did they beat this? Fury, maybe? Hardcast Fury. Good point, friend. I don't think their deck plays both. At least I like never do when I play their deck. I was just like kind of okay being like somewhat weak this turn too and comboing off. Yeah, thank you for. I think this deck's sick. I'm pretty proud of it. I had a different deck prepped, which I'll reveal later, that I was gonna play today, and then I had this together too, and I'm like, this is just. I just am too excited to play this deck. This deck is too sick. I'm gonna have to play it. Dude, Rakdos Charm would be so awesome. I would love to die to Rakdos Charm here. Dude, Rakdos Charm is probably great in Commander. Yeah, we always make fun of Rakdos Charm. There used to be a dance, a delicate dance. It was like a sub game in resolving Rakdos Charm against Twin. Because, like, They would go. So here's what would happen. You would have Rakdos Charm in your hand. They would put a Splinter Twin on a Deceiver Exarch, and then they would stare at you, and you would say, "Okay, that resolves." And then they would say, "Kill you, infinite kill you," but they would be at like less life than them, and so. Then all of a sudden you have to pretend like you've never seen the twin combo in your entire life. You have to pretend like, okay, kill me. What? How does this work? How does this work? You have to act like you've never seen the twin combo before in your entire life. But then the twin player would know what was up. They would know that you have Rakdos Charm. And then they would be like, okay, I'm actually only going to deal 14. I'm gonna make exactly enough to like kill you without dying to Rakdos Charm. So then there was like another little sub metagame after that, where instead of pretending like you've never seen the twin combo before, you have to go, I guess you're just gonna make 1,000,000 Deceiver Exarchs then. You have to act like you're really frustrated and tilted. You have to go, I guess 1,000,000 Exarchs kill me, huh? And then they'd be like, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. And then you Rakdos Charm them. So it was figuring out the decision tree there was really important. It was a hard card to resolve. I don't think I'd consider this angle shooting so much, where it's like your opponent is trying to shortcut. But they it's still up to them to decide if they play around Rakdos Charm or not, right? It's their choice to play around Rakdos Charm or not play around Rakdos Charm. But the way you respond gives them more information to play around it or not. And the meta was in some ways you could even say the opposite, that the twin player trying to shortcut is them angle shooting to try to figure out if you have Rakdos Charm or not. If you have Rakdos Charm or another way to interact. So it's I think that it's, I would not say either is the case, but It just kind of stings because your opponent it's their decision to play around it or not, and giving them information that lets them play around it just sucks. You know what I mean? I should have played the Gorge, but don't think it's gonna matter. Turn 3 Snoop combo into play exactly what you want to see. Yeah, and then there's also the next level, if you don't have Charm. If you don't have Rakdos Charm, you need to be wait, how many goblins are you? Then you pretend like you've never seen Twin in your entire life. Because then they play around Rakdos Charm every single time. Oh man, we need to unban Twin, and then we need to play some Rakdos Charm. But oh damn it, we're on Magic Online. We're just on Magic Online, never mind. Damn it. Yeah, it's a bit different on Magic Online too. Yeah, man, I wish Splinter Twin was legal. I have an infinite Keek comboed with Kiki type effects in the longest time. I miss making infinite copies of creatures and dealing infinite damage in 1 damage intervals. Curse you, Modern Horizons 2! You've taken that away from me. I'll never combo like this again. Something, turn 3 format. Something, Modern is a turn 4 format. Ha ha ha. Does anybody else remember in the Splinter Twin ban announcement when they said that Modern was a turn 4 format? I remember. You bring in the forces, mostly to stop Needle and Karn targets, but we're gonna mulligan somewhat aggressively to combo hand in this matchup. Well, on the play they can beat a turn 3 combo kill. which could be a reason to keep a hand like this. Kind of needs to draw like a Snoop or a Harbinger, but if we do, like, we can Fiend Artisan for the other piece, and we can like put a creature into play at instant speed to play around like Karn 7. Keep. Can just try to Tyvar into a Harbinger. I think that's fine on the draw here. I doubt a Ragavan Splinter Jack would be unplayable. Yeah, I don't think so. I think Twin would be somewhat playable. Like, me and Caleb D tested it last year. So maybe the year before. I think it was last year. It had to be last year. And I 5-0'd against Caleb with, like, my Ragavan Twin deck. I also got, like, really lucky, and I think that I actually do think that Twin would be a safe unban, but I would play if Twin never gets unbanned. I guarantee, I promise you, chatters, a 24-hour Twin stream. I've actually promised it like several times. Don't do that. I've promised it too many times to not do it. Why did I do this to myself? I literally couldn't stop myself. I would be so excited. Like, if you ask, why would I do this to myself? How could I not do this? How could I do anything else if they unban Twin? Rubbing salt in the Twin player's wounds? That's because I was a Twin player all along. I built Twin. In paper, I got to play it at exactly one FNM before it got banned. I got to play it at exactly one FNM before it got banned. I was the Twin player all along. Ooh, I do not recommend playing the second O-Stone. That is not a line I can recommend. Especially with that on top of my library. Let's go. Was it a good FNM? It was a great FNM. Damn it, it was a great FNM. Alright. Guess I'm getting a Snoop. Could get a Kiki instead. Kiki's got to be better, right? Yeah, Kiki lets me combo. No, that was close because if I didn't have the other Kiki in the yard, Kiki's better. But because I have the other Kiki in the yard, I have to get Snoop. Monkey, 2 months ago. Thank you. Welcome back. They find Tron. Probably have something for this, right? Maybe not. Alright, no thanks. Good play. Forcing me to not get a land, but not too scary either. Ding. I suppose we just actually get a Stomping Ground now in case we see Hierarch or something. Takadoom or anything to get Keyback from the yard? No, no. Kiki's not important in your hand. It's important to be on top of your library. So you could potentially play Witch's Cottage in this mana base. I don't know that it would be correct, but you could. It would definitely have some merit. Alright, well. They're going to get to blast some of my Snoops. They're going to be at 6. These aren't going to do a ton. Is Priest doing work in Brawler? Looks to be a cool include. Yeah, so I liked Priest a lot. We 5-0'd with Priest as a 4-of in a recent deck list. And I think the first copy as a Fiend Artisan target, plus like you're okay naturally drawing it, has been fine so far. What matchups am I liking for Grist? The Cyber Grist are for like Murktide, Rakdos, Control, 4-color. The grindy matchups. But it's also like a card you're pretty happy to draw naturally. Like you have like plenty of creatures to sacrifice to Grist in this deck, and you can Fiend Artisan for it also. You can Vial it in. The first copy I think is pretty good in the main. Have you ever beaten a deck with 4 stones? That wound is still fresh, champ. Are you supposed to be able to see your top card before choosing to pay life for Stomping Ground? I'm not sure. So we have to keep this. Is it not worth playing the first Beseiju? No, Beseiju doesn't cast Snoop or Munitions Expert. I'm gonna play the Vial here. It's kind of nice that I get like the shuffle with the Snoop fetch that next turn. Geronimo. That's a great username. Thank you for the Twitch Prime. Alright, so let's go ahead and Vial this in here. Then see if I like my top card. I don't, so let's go ahead and shuffle. Would be nice to draw a land, potentially. I guess I can't combo this turn. Oh, sorry, I should have got a Blood Crypt, actually. Oh, but there's the Harbinger. So my opponent's going to 7 mana next turn. Oh, but I didn't get the Blood Crypt, so I just have to do this, actually. That's okay, because if they go Karn minus on Snoop, I can actually just go cast Tyvar, or Violent Snoop, Violent Harbinger, and win. So Karn, the Great Creator, is the card that gets us here, I guess. No, Ugin. They can't cast Ugin this turn. They have 7 mana. They would need a trying to think of a card that would even let them Ugin. Not really. No Simian Spirit Guides anymore. Yeah, or Dismember. Although we can beat Dismember because we have Tyvar plus 2nd Snoop, right? You can worth cutting the Mana Dorks from Devoted Druid for 4 Vial, 4 Sentinel. I guess you just haven't seen me play the deck, but that's exactly what I did, and I like that a lot. I think that the Mana Dorks are not good on Devoted Druid's curve, and I don't think that they're good in general, and Sentinel is really good, and make sure Saga Beatdown plan better too. Okay, fine, Karn Liberated, so that's how I built the deck. You can find it in the Stream Decker, and that is how I recommend building the deck. This remember works because you're going to main phase the combo and they'll kill my Harbinger. No, but if I have 2 Snoops, I can just respond to them killing the Harbinger with another Snoop copy, right? So I have to cast, to play around that, I have to cast Tyvar first. They have to have double Dismember. GG. Total record. So we were, I think, 1-2 drop into 4-1 into 2-0. So that's 7-3. But it's also in the Mold 6. Yeah, I agree. The combo is kind of crazy. It's really funny. Like, there's so many decks like this in Modern that are really powerful, really fast, and consistent, but like they're just like not that popular. And you know, like largely because of how good Modern's interaction is, but you know, also like kind of think about like what Modern would be like without the premium interaction. Like the format would, you know, just be all decks like this. And by that I mean a paradise, a perfect paradise. Decks that we lost against? Oh no, we're about to lose to this. We lost to creativity. We lost to prowess once. We beat prowess once. And, prowess might have also been the other loss, actually. Chalice on 0 stops their Asmos from being cast. They also play a Profane Tutor, so I want like at least 2 Chalices, maybe 3. I was like, there's something else too. Let's try Munitions Experts. Maybe try cut the Priest. Cut a Vial. Artisan's really good. I don't really want to cut Artisan. So we can cut a couple Mogg War Marshals. We'll play 2 Chalices. You picked up HelloFresh thanks to me? No! You had to do every plate. That's owned by the same company, so it's fine, but... No. Force not good enough. We could bring in Force. I'm like just a little bit worried about over sideboarding on the combo deck. Like overall, I'm not that worried about their like cookbook saga plan. I am worried about Asmo, but we're bringing in Chalice for Asmo. We still have like a couple experts and stuff. Huh. Y'all aren't gonna like it, but this is a keep. We have 2 Hierarchs, so if we draw a green source, we have enough mana, and we have 2 premium sideboard cards in our hand. Y'all are gonna hate this, but this is a keep. Without like the double Hierarch to like fix our mana too, I don't think I'd keep. Prove us wrong, I guess. I guess I'll have to. They named Bloodstained Mire. Wow, that's so ballsy. Are they not playing Bloodstained Mire? Wow, Chalice against Profane Tutor. So maybe we have an answer to this. So I can't play a second copy though. Yeah, the difference between every plate HelloFresh is they're like packaged differently. Like every plate is a bit cheaper because of the packaging, but I think it's even the same food. Fable the Mirror Breaker. Now that's a good one. Time for a land? Look, I literally don't know what other land you could have taken, chat. No, we're not playing Sling Game. We're comboing with Mogg Fanatic instead. Ah! Look, I've had 3 looks at land. Look number 4. Damn it. Unironically, a little unlucky, huh? I don't know. I still feel pretty good about the keep, honestly. We're against a really linear combo deck with 2 premium 0 mana sideboard cards and like double mana Dork when we draw a land. Well, the worst goes through the breach. I feel okay about it though. So close. That was justice. Maybe. I feel okay about it still. Yeah, the game 1 was really tough. Turn 2 killed. But it's like the Chalice stops the Asmo plan. The Leyline stops the Goryo's Vengeance plan. And like, I don't think I would keep without even like the second Hierarch. But like the, 1 green source and we're just like off to the races. Keeping a lot of 0 landers lately. Yeah, exactly. Like this is something that happens a lot where like in matchups where you're not favored, and in hard matchups you're supposed to keep hands like that more often. Like I think that matchup's probably pretty bad, or that's kind of my impression. Where like both the Emrakul plan and the Osmo plan are both really good against me, and so like having like a hand that's really high upside in bad matchups, I think, are typically something I'll keep. But I you know, could obviously see the other argument. Are they Heliod? If they're all like Heliod or Boros Stoneblade. Damn it, 12 months, happy anniversary. Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing swell. Okay, Domain Zoo. Missed the Giganta until now. Ragavan the Nimble Pilferer, Scourge of Modern. Spike, how can I beat Ragavan? You ever think about registering some shitty goblins in your deck? what is They're gonna Gore Clan Rampager me? That'd be awesome. Jamoka's Command, +1 counter, fight. Or +1 counter. Wait, what are they fighting? Oh, we sacrificed an enchantment, put a +1 counter. Deal. Deal. Resolves. Have you considered just playing some of the worst cards you've ever seen in your entire life? Dude, we drew Grist. I think I'm just gonna get the value here. Could be better too. Cast a Planeswalker. Don't think that there's too many wrong answers. Maybe Grist Tyvar minus into Expert is fine. That's just all fine. Can Violent Grist next turn too. Why do you prefer clicking commands in Moto as opposed to keyboard shortcuts? It's like a combination of like habit and like, look, I'm sipping coffee, I'm exclaiming with my hands and waving things around. You know, I have to like punch over my keyboard. I can't lean back. I can lean back in my chair. So you bring in Force against like Leyline Binding, Scion, potentially Rest in Peace. You can get Grist with Recruiter, yeah. Grist kind of works with everything. I don't know, Luke. I at the Hunter Burton, I'll probably play an RTQ or two, but not sure about before then. Could just like literally run it back here. I think I probably need like 1 or 2 Force of Negations. You cut the 4th Harbinger. I haven't done that too much today. I kind of like it though. Yeah, I heard about the Elden Ring DLC. I am excited. It sounds like it's not going to come out for a long time though, but that's okay. We got other stuff to do. Ah, please! I'm so weak. Please. Death Touch for players, huh? I can't believe Wizards would print Death Touch for players on a card. No Modern RCQs till late 22. I mean, I can play other formats, like the ones that the Hunter Burton are sealed. I guess I don't really have. I have most of Creativity for Pioneer. Maybe I have all of it. I don't actually know what I'd be missing. I have. Oh, I don't have the Worm version. I just have the Gearhulk version. What's the lure of this deck compared to normal goblins? Not to argue, just to learn. The main appeal to this version, in my opinion, is that you're better at comboing. You're better at comboing. Tyvar is like just very, very good with the combo. And then this package of like, so like in the same way that like regular goblins has like Matron, Sling Gang, Matron, Sling Gang as its backup, this deck has access to Tyvar, Fiend Artisan as its backup plan. But this package, this Tyvar, Fiend Artisan backup plan, while giving you a comparable level of backup strategy when they disrupt your combo, also enable the combo, where Tyvar puts Snoop back into play after they kill it, gives Snoop haste, as a card advantage spell, And Fiend Artisan is like a gigantic creature that tutors for the combo and also plays well with Tyvar. Is the the thoughts. No, Emrakul's better than Gaia's because of both Tasha's, but also like if you draw your Gaia's Blessing, it's over. But if you draw Emrakul, you should very often are just gonna want to discard at the hand size. Discard the hand size so that you can not get got so bad. Pretty sure I'm just gonna Tyvar here. Oh, it's kind of an awkward draw. Isn't Tasha's exile? Yeah, but Emrakul makes you exile much fewer with Tasha's because it's 15 mana. So we can expert kill just a Ragavan or a Hierarch. Fiend Artisan 3/3. Or just Mogg War Marshal 2 blockers. These are 4/4s. Tough. Almost really nice Munitions Expert. Does seem like I should take the Fiend Artisan though. I think I'm okay losing the Tyvar maybe to an attack, and maybe we can do some jumping too and keep it around. We'll see. Hunter Birds in the summer. No, it's next month. I'm pretty sure, end of next month. Yeah, no Artisan's gonna be shrinked by the Kavus, but I may be just more interested in using it to tutor up Snoop. We'll see. Although they just have Bolt, unfortunately. Okay, so we can trade a Goblin for Ragavan. And lose the Tyvar. Tyvar gain 10, need a Lightning Bolt, not too bad. Not too bad. Planning for next turn's a little tricky here. Best draw is Snoop by a lot, I guess. Is this that good? I've been liking it. We have a positive record, and I think it's been feeling good, looking good. But typically, that's kind of the question you have to answer for yourself. Tough spot. I don't think the line is ever Grist minus, right? Not this turn, at least. Could be good to go Harbinger for Snoop this turn. Taking a lot of damage. But I want to be able to go Grist plus Mogg War Marshal next turn, or Snoop plus Grist. Oh, man. Let's just play the Mogg War Marshal. And then I can go chump with 2 creatures here, and then Grist Blast, and chump with 3 creatures if I need to. Or maybe Grist minus next turn, depending on what we draw. They only have 2 cards after draw step, but they have the Kavus to loot, so they should have some gas. Dude, they played the Arid Mesa with 2 Kavus in play. Let's go. Let's go. Pretty bad draw. I think we just Grist plus. Okay, that gives me a little bit more flexibility on how we're chump blocking. My opponent just plays a land again. Okay, we're super dead. I guess we can theoretically draw Tyvar, mill over Snoop, cast Harbinger, and win. Is there any other route to victory? I don't think so. Does blocking even matter, though? I can fetch a mountain. Go to 1. Sure. Yeah, Tyvar into Snoop is the only line I'm seeing. I guess I could just draw Munitions Expert and kill the Scion, actually. Oh, yeah, I have to play the Harbinger first, though. Okay. Just another land. Let's go to game 3. I think on the play, I maybe just want to max out on Grists. Like, turn 2 Grist on the play seems really, really good against them. Could play 1, 4 still. You need double black for that line. Could I have fetched a swamp there? Was a swamp already in play? I've already forgotten. Okay, on the play. Keep. It's on the mold 6. Obviously, Lightning Bolt will be pretty bad. I think I'm just going to jam the Snoop. Mogg War Marshal definitely turns these experts into better removal spells. Kavu seems to get wrecked by a lot of cards. Does Domain not have any better 2-drop? Well, you have Scion and Kavu are your Domain payoffs, but it does get wrecked by a lot of cards. But also, this is also, like, to some extent, like, if you're playing a deck in Modern, there are going to be cards that wreck you. Like, yes, Kavu's weak to Dress Down, but it's also, like, plenty strong against, like, a ton of other cards, and it's just okay to play Kavu, I think, and be weak to Dress Down. Okay, so I think I should play my Forest here so that I can pay for Echo and still cast Munitions Expert next turn, maybe. Because I guess it's only like if I want to cast the Expert, I'll pay for Echo. Maybe not. Maybe I'll pay no matter what. Alright, so let's pay. If my opponent does have Lightning Bolt, we can at least ping here. Kiki's a fun draw. Okay, so they bolt the token, and then we deal 3 damage, and then we ping. Go, Mogg War Marshal, go! Three cards in their hand. Go, Mogg War Marshal, go, I think. I think we're going to slam the Kiki. Smelling some weakness here. Even if they kill the Kiki-Jiki, we get another Mogg War Marshal. If 2 of their 3 cards are removal spells, we still have plenty of top decks. Dude, I feel like there's a lot of timelines where I don't play the Forest so I can pay for Echo plus Expert. Like, I think, like, at first glance there, it really looks like you're supposed to just be able to get your tapped Blood Crypt so you don't take a life loss. But just, like, playing the Forest there ended up being so important. But I think there's a lot of timelines where I missed that. Move the stack. Okay, I'll move the stack. Oh, I should have told Esther that I'm playing Goblins. She loves when I play Goblins. I'm not sure why it's a problem for it to be there, but whatever. If it's killing you, I'll save your life. And all I ask is, like, a tier 3 sub in response. Just 1 or like 10 gifted tier 3 subs. To move the stack. Tribal Flames me. Well, I'm gonna resent lethal, I guess. Then we have a fetch 2. What am I missing? So what you're missing is if I hold the forest in hand and I play the fetch land, I can't use this forest to cast the Munitions Expert. So I have to use the forest to pay for Echo. Is why why playing the forest there was good. But just like without thinking about it too much, it would have been very easy for me to just like prioritize getting a tap land with the fetch land, and so I take 2 less damage. This list is more untuned because it's newer, and so like there could be improvements to this list still, but I just can't answer because like the differences between like variants like this, it just takes forever to figure out. This would be a good matchup to be on the play with, but we at least have a pretty strong hand. Another Hierarch. I think I need to kill the bird. Okay, I'm playing a Hierarch 100% of the time, right? Yeah, I think I have to bolt the bird. It feels like a game where play draw matters more than anything else. Kiki-Jiki would actually be like a crazy good draw. I'll kill the Grist with another expert. I know this makes me weak to the Grist minus, but I think I still have to play this and like look for Munitions Expert since they're gonna have 4 mana. Ooh, well, that's really good if it gets untapped. One more point to this build over more traditional goblins, which I don't think I've brought up yet, is that while they let Grist go to 1, they must have Court of Calling. One strength of this variant over other more traditional goblins lists is so I keep losing my train of thought. Ignoble Hierarch I think is a much better card with Tyvar in your deck, where you get to like untap it for mana, you get to have haste with Tyvar in play, you get to bring it back. Where Hierarch is like just not a card I like very much in more traditional goblin variants. Hold on, let me upkeep stop here. So I guess we pay Echo. Draw Kiki. Go to our main phase. Cast Kiki. And then we go to combat. Attack with just the expert. Wow, they fucked up so bad. I can't believe they fucked up this bad. And they're letting the Grist die. I guess I was supposed to copy before blocks and kill the Yawgmoth. The Great Matt, think of Twitch Prime. Wow, they're just sacking nothing. What in the world? I think that if I had to guess, I think my opponents may be suffering from something that I'm afflicted with all the time, which is tilt, just like cascade. Like, you make one mistake and then it just like tilts into more mistakes. Oh, we could still totally lose here, by the way. But just like one mistake like falls into another mistake, and before you know it, you made like three mistakes in a row. That being said, like we're behind enough here. My opponent has enough cards in hand that we're likely just to lose anyways. But it does happen to me all the time. Graven Cairns, let's go. Wonder if they're trying to save resources for the Yawgmoth. I mean, it doesn't really make some sense. Like, you'd want to save your Grist, you'd want to block. But, maybe. Which list has more potential with Norn? Evolution or Heartless Summoning one? I don't know. They seem like similar power level to me. I think like the one with Heartless Summoning is like a more synergy focused deck. And you know you're playing cards like Avalanche Riders, and you're playing like 4 Mole Drifters, but you're playing those cards because they're really good with like your 4 copies of Brought Back and your 4 copies of Heartless Summoning. So like that deck mulligans more often, and also mulligans worse, which is you know kind of an issue. But there are definitely strengths to that list too, and it's just kind of hard to tell overall. Maybe same thing as to say, yeah, exactly. Let me cut a file for play 1 Mogg War Marshal. But the one with Evolution is built to be a much more stable deck. Honestly, Kiki plus Expert plus Mogg War Marshal is kind of an interesting hand. Let's keep. Just begin to kill a turn 1 Mana Dork and slow them down. Play a Mogg War Marshal on turn 3. Then by turn 5, we're likely to have a land and just start copying Munitions Expert. Yeah, I think we win that game if we're on the play. Very likely, at least. That's an interesting draw, too. Could maybe played the Graven Cairns. I'm going to see Strangleroot Geist this turn. Wall of Roots. At least not Wall of Roots into something. Right on time. Right on time, Leyline. Could play that next turn. We'll see what happens. Could be a little too slow. But if they just cast a Yawgmoth next turn, I guess you honestly like Yawgmoth plus kill one of my creatures is probably not going to be beatable. We'll see. Tyvar is pretty interesting. I do think that in order for me to have a chance, which I would love to have a chance, I'm just going to hardcast Leyline. I've been liking the deck. I don't know that Tyvar is necessarily feeling like a huge improvement, because like it's just different. It's hard to evaluate, honestly. I think there's a chance this is likely a little bit better than traditional Goblins, but it at the very least doesn't feel significantly worse or like even like worse at all. We're just like, you know, pretty nuanced differences. Yeah, and yeah, relatively low sample size. Pretty tough, huh? Yeah. Obviously, this list very inspired from the Tyvar Asmo deck from Friday. Splash white and Norn for Goblins. Big brain. Deep in the tank on this attack, huh? Norn and Hiri. I don't actually recommend doing that. Goblins, like any way you build Goblins, like this way or more traditional, you just have a lot of mana sinks, and I don't think you want a 5 mana white creature, even if it is maybe the best one ever. Opponent stuck in hiatus. Okay, I'm just gonna use the restroom real quick while we wait for our opponent to figure this out. Okay. Yawgmoth being attacked, huh? Or attacking us, huh? So, how do we win this? I guess if their hand is bad, that could be a way. We could also draw Munitions Expert and go Mogg War Marshal, Munitions Expert this. We draw a land and then go like Mogg War Marshal, Tyvar minus, try to find Expert. None of that happened. So I guess I'm just going to go Tyvar minus, cast Vial probably, and hope that my opponent's hand is bad. Am I going to Oakland? I don't know. Is that like an SCG event? For me, SCG events have not been very interesting to travel to. I'll play them if they're local to me, though. And I'm not local to Oakland. Currently, I've been trying to find what happened to my palette of Modern Horizons 2 cards that I had in my front lawn. Here in DFW. I just don't know what happened to them. I had 6 pallets of MH2 cards in my front lawn, and now they're not there. It's so weird. Oh well, I'm sure they'll find their way back home eventually. This was yesterday. Did you at least try to go to the dump? That's the weird thing. I was already at the dump when I saw the Reddit post. Can I concede? I'm going to concede, I think. Concede with grace and dignity. I do think if we won the play, probably win game 1 there. I have Furies in the other version of Goblins, so yeah, Yawgmoth is like usually feels like a pretty good matchup for Goblins. Without the Furies, definitely felt a lot worse. I like the deck though. I would definitely play it again, maybe with some changes, but for now, I'm going to pivot into Dark Souls. The Dark Souls runs have been getting a lot better. I've been feeling a lot more confident in them, and we've learned some new technology too. Yeah, I'll be at 100 Burton. That being said, it's still fucking hard as hell, especially like pivoting after like a few hours of Magic into Dark Souls is still pretty tough.